Welcome back to the Healing Chair. This is a sacred space where creatives come to exhale and talk about what really happens in their craft and life. Today I'm speaking with Jessica, founder of Badass Soul Collective, who's been a holistic hairstylist for 19 years. So pull up a chair. This session starts now. Tell me, how did you get started in the hair industry?
Well, I grew up doing dance and theater,
Mm-hmm.
and I was always the girl French braiding everyone's hair before recitals. And I was always really good at doing makeup, and I just always really, really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it as a career, ever. And then when I was a senior, I auditioned for a school in New York. And I got in and I was really excited to go to New York. And my parents were like, that's cute. We can't afford that. And so I ended up going to UNT in Denton. And I was a dance and theater double major at UNT. And I didn't love college. It was not a great time for me.
Yeah.
It was hard. I didn't take care of myself. And yeah, it was just a really hard time, but I really did love my theater classes. I really, really did. And
Mm-hmm.
I think what I took away from that time was that I actually loved being behind the scenes more than I loved being on stage. And
Yeah.
so I thought, what can I do that I can get out of college, that I can actually make a living, that's creative, that I don't have to sit in an office all day, that I don't, I was thinking of all
Yeah.
these things that I wanted out of a career.
Yeah.
And going to hair school just felt really natural to me because that's still in entertainment. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can be,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think when I told my parents that I wanted to go to hair school, it was a disappointment. I don't think my parents were thrilled about it or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
they're awesome and so supportive. And so they supported my vision.
Yeah.
And excuse me. So yeah, I went to hair school, and it's that was 19 years ago and I can't believe
Wow.
it. It's so crazy.
With your parents, did they have like a certain expectation of what they wanted you to do for a career, or was it just something that they
Well,
didn't
they
want you
always knew
to?
I wanted to be in entertainment somehow,
Yeah.
and they were also like, and you should have a fallback. You should always have that fallback just in case things don't work out. And so yeah, and I think so that's why I was going to college, right? Like even though I was a
Yeah.
dance and theater double major, I was like, what, like they were disappointed that I dropped out of school, right? But I was like, what am I going to do with
You're like, what are you
a
expecting
theater
here?
major, you know? But like I said, like it all worked out. And I think that they were worried because the hair industry does have a little bit of a stigma to it.
Oh,
And
for sure.
rightfully so,
For sure.
especially in the early 2000s. I think that my parents feared that I wouldn't be able to support myself,
Mm.
that I would struggle being a hairstylist. And I don't blame them for feeling that way, honestly,
Yeah.
because my parents' views of hairstylist wasn't a thriving career.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy to report that, that it all worked out. But yeah, I mean, they were being parents.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah.
Do you feel like the stigma of like how people viewed the hair industry as not being like a successful career path has changed over the years? Like, is it more like, oh, you can definitely do something with this, or is it still the same as it was before?
I think it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the change because I I think that for better or worse, the like the access and resources we have with things like Instagram
Oh my God.
have really
Yeah.
blown up the industry and shown people how artistic it is and how it can be a solid career.
100%.
Um, Sometimes I don't love that part of it, but I think that for the stigma part that you asked about, I think that it's really helped in that way.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a
Yeah.
great thing. I was talking to my sister not long ago. So I work for my sister's salon.
Yeah.
And I remember us, like in her office one day, and she was telling me like how lucky hairstylists are now because they can just market themselves on social media and all this stuff or have a salon market for them. But before, she would have to like go to the gym like all done up to hand out her business
Amen,
cards or
sister.
go to the grocery
We were
store
hitting the
and
streets. We were hitting the streets with those
yeah.
business cards. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have social media to market ourselves at all.
Yeah.
So I think that the exposure that social media has given hairstylists has really spoken to how we are as artists.
Mhm.
And I think that that's really helped people see how much work it is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you a question, but I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Do you feel like with social media and like how artists are using that to promote themselves, that can kind of be a downfall in a way as opposed to like personal approach to like going to the gym or going to the grocery store to promote yourself?
Well, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask this because I don't really use my social media to market my business
And I
as a
love that.
hairstylist.
I love
Um,
that.
because I built my career in the times when I was, out there on the streets handing out business cards and getting
Yeah.
referrals and all that. I really do rely on word of mouth. I do still think that that's for me the best. I can't speak for everyone, of course. Because when I went to hair school, I didn't know what content creation was. That wasn't even
A
a
thing.
thing,
Yeah. It wasn't even
right?
a, yeah.
So I'm not going to say I never learned how to do it. Of course, I've learned how to do it now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm old. And I just, I don't use it for those purposes. I
Yeah.
use my social media to expose my other passions outside of hair. But
Yeah.
I do think it's helped. And I'm low key always jealous of hairstylists with the most beautiful hairstyling Instagram. Like,
Yeah, I like their content
oh
creation.
yeah,
I'm like, God damn it, I
I
wish I
know,
could
I'm
do
totally
that.
into it, and I'm creeping on all the hairstylist Instagram. I love it. I just personally don't use it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But also I feel like using your Instagram to obviously promote like your other passions as a style. I think that's awesome,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, what are your other passions? I want to know
Oh,
about
girl,
that.
I have like 15 jobs. So, obviously like my main focus is being a hairstylist, but I take a holistic approach to hair. So, um I I do healing behind the chair. So my salon is called Badass Beauty and Healing, and
Aw.
so I do a lot of energy work, crystals, Reiki, I use tuning forks, all those things that's included in the hair service, and obviously that depends on the person's comfortability with
Oh
it.
my God, I need to see you.
It's really fun and I really enjoy it. So yes, I am a holistic hairstylist, if you want to call it that. I really do focus on the energy, and that all came about because COVID burnt me out.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know if I would
God.
ever return to doing hair, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that COVID just really woke me up to a lot of things, which we may talk about later in this podcast, but it really woke me up to that I was really intolerant of surface level bullshit.
Oof.
And
Yes.
so I just kind of sent out a letter to my clients saying, like, I'm just going to be real with you from now on. This is me. I'm a witchy woo woo kind of girl. And if that makes you uncomfortable, I honor that. You don't have to do any of it. We
Oh,
could just do a
mhm.
hair service, or we can do hair and energy work. Whatever it is for you, that works for me. And like, you can be real with me, and I want to be real with you. And so that's kind of like the thought process behind my business, but it was a whole story getting there. But yes, I am also a Reiki 1 and 2 practitioner. I'm
Mhm.
a certified transformative breathwork facilitator.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have the Badass Soul Collective, where we host retreats for women. We just came back from Costa Rica, and that whole retreat was around women in business and leadership, and focusing on them, which was so powerful and amazing. I'm also on the show team for the American Beauty Vision Awards out
Oh
of Kansas City.
my gosh. Wow,
So they're
Kansas
really
City.
fun.
Hey.
Yeah. Um, and I try to do fun work when I can, how I can. I'm also a global ambassador for the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation. I have a port wine stain
Oh my
on my face. And
gosh.
so I try to advocate and be an ambassador for the facial differences community. So I do a lot. And that's why I
Yeah.
don't really have a hair Instagram. A really long answer to your question. Because I'm doing so many other things, it doesn't feel right to just focus on hair, because it's not
It's not the only
the
thing
only
that
thing that
encapsulates
defines me.
exactly
Yeah.
100%. I want to go back to like you during COVID sending out that message to all
Mhm.
your clients. How did they take it? Like, did you have pushback at all? Did they just fall into the swing of it because they were like, hell yeah, like I'll stay
Well,
with you no matter what?
most of them fell into the swing of it, because when I explained to them that it's always been energy work, even when I was just in a normal salon that didn't focus on that we've always had an energetic exchange. When I'm doing those hand massages on you, I'm pouring love into you.
Yeah.
Being a hairstylist, you're working on someone's crown. Like, that is your connection to the universe and God, or whatever you believe in, whatever that is
Yes.
for you.
Yeah,
That is
100%.
a really powerful chakra. That's an insane energy center. And we have the massive ability to be able to work in that space, and that's so sacred, and it's such an
Mm.
honor. And so once I explained it to them that way, most of them were on board. Some of them are like, I'm not into that, and I'm just here for the hair. Cool, whatever. Like, that
Mhm.
works for me.
Yeah.
But most of them are really open to it. And here we are in Texas. I was thinking that for a conservative area that
Mm.
maybe it wouldn't fly,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've found that to be untrue.
Ugh.
It's really worked out for me. I really
Oh,
enjoy it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I love that. With and to add on to that, I feel like with being a hairstylist, it's already such an intimate service that you're doing for another
Mhm.
person, like whenever you're washing their hair or just, you're sitting down with someone and they're telling you all about their life stories, stuff that they don't even tell their best friend, for an
Mhm.
example, because they might be ashamed. But with us, it's like they just tell us everything. Do you feel like you've ever had moments where you took on someone else's energy and it was just really draining for you and you had to like draw boundaries because of the energy work that you do?
I used to.
Okay.
Before I started my healing journey and getting certified and learning about energy work, I used to let that stuff drain me.
Mm.
It was always, mm, I can't say always. It was mostly from a place of love, right? That, like, because I cared about these people,
Mm.
that I would let it drain me. And then when I started my healing journey and I started learning about energy work and drawing boundaries and holding space and witnessing somebody and observing somebody and not allowing that to affect my energy, things really, really changed.
Mm.
And I'm human. That doesn't mean that it still doesn't happen, but I have the tools and resources to cleanse that
Mm.
and move on with my day.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think, I feel, I feel like hairstylists. whenever they're in beauty school, they get like the thick of it because you're just getting all these people like all at
Mhm.
once. And I went to Aveda, so we were there for like 10 hours for
Yeah.
3 days a week. And
Yeah.
holy shit, was it draining.
Yeah, girl.
And I remember having so many guests, and I was just like a baby at this time. I had so many guests just like trauma dump on me.
Mhm.
And I was like, holy shit, I don't even know what to do right
Yeah.
now. Like, how do you draw boundaries? And I want to talk about that. What advice would you give for up and coming stylists, baby stylists, that are still in school about drawing boundaries with clients and protecting their energy?
Well, I would say start off with a sacred practice or a sacred ritual for yourself.
Mhm.
Like before you take any client, always focus on, and God, that could be a million things. You could burn some sage, some Palo Santo, you could meditate, you could use some crystals, you could do like, you could have a dance party, like whatever
Mhm.
it is, just do that for yourself, set your intention for the day.
Mhm.
Um, However, if you come across a client who is crossing boundaries, for me, it depends. If it's something offensive,
Mhm.
um, oh, how do I say this? If it's something offensive, then I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying, like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with talking about this right now, or changing the subject, moving on, whatever it is, getting that out of the way and being
Mhm.
like, hey, it's cool. And we're just going to continue this haircut and like, we're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, If it's something where they are trauma dumping, this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't stop people from trauma dumping.
Yeah.
I feel really honored to hold that sacred space for them.
Mhm.
And I love people. That's also something that COVID taught me. I always thought I hated people. And then when I was isolated, I was like, oh, wait, I
I
actually
actually love people.
love people. Um, so yeah, when people are trauma dumping, I really don't get offended by that, or I don't get drained from it because it's cathartic for them. And what an honor to be able to be trusted with that, to hold that space.
Mhm.
I always follow that with, if I feel like there's something that needs to be said, well, are you open to a reflection on that? It's okay if they're not. Um, but sometimes people do want the feedback, or sometimes you just have to say, I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that happened to you. I mean, the stories that I've heard over my 19-year career
Ugh.
are just so wild. And that's one thing about being a hairstylist that I value so much, that I've been able to meet all these people. And it's given me so much compassion for people,
Mm.
um, that I find it impossible to be a hairstylist and be like a judgmental person,
Mm.
because I've like met everybody from every walk of life who like, God, and even my clients who I don't agree with, who I don't vote like, who, we do have some differences.
Mhm.
Even the things over the years that they've shared with me, I'm like, damn, like we're still human and we're doing the best we can with the tools we have available to us. So, you know, is it always rainbows and butterflies? No. I wish it was, but it's not all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for someone who is trying to draw boundaries with a client, if it's absolutely offensive or harmful to you and your mental health, there's no problem with being like, we have to stop here.
Mm.
Um, but for trauma dumping, I don't know. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
I
like,
don't know if
"Tell
that's the
me.
I don't know if
Tell
that's the
me."
right answer,
No,
but
there's no but there's
yeah.
no, right answer. I think each hairstylist is so different, and we all have things that we're okay with and not okay with.
Yeah.
But I think that's honestly such a beautiful perspective to have, to be able to, like, help someone, carry their burden.
Yeah.
And, there's been
Well, especially
times.
that I can hold it now. When I couldn't
Yeah.
hold it, that it
Yeah.
was a problem.
Yeah, and it was heavier. And it
Right,
was
and it
like,
was heavier.
yeah.
But at this point in my life, I feel like I can hold it. And so I'm always like, give it to me. Like I can take that off of you for this hour-long haircut. Whatever it is, you can give it to me. And then when they leave, you know?
Oh, that's so beautiful. I feel like, oh, God. The way you worded it was so beautiful because I feel like more people should be like that, to be completely honest. I feel like there is this this awful thing in the world, and it's been around for such a long time, but it's like, oh, they're going through it, it doesn't affect me. Like,
Right.
that's not my deal. Like, why should I care? And hairstylists, especially in like the service industry altogether, where we have this ability to like really work with people
Mhm.
and really get to know them,
Mhm.
um, it's shit. I have bad days, and I'm like, oh, I gotta remember to like be there for people.
Yeah.
But wanted to also ask you about that. Whenever, because we're hairstylists and it's our job to show up for people every day. Have you ever struggled showing up for yourself like beforehand?
Yeah, for sure. I really do try to make it like a non-negotiable that I have to show up for myself.
Mhm.
Um, I have another really unpopular opinion. When I die, I don't want anyone calling me selfless. I don't want
I
anyone.
love that.
I don't. I swear to God, I tell all my friends, I'm like, if any of you motherfuckers get up there at my funeral and say, "Oh, Jessica was the most selfless being." No, I wasn't. No, I'm not. I think it's a beautiful thing to be selfish in a
Yes.
loving way. I have to be selfish. I have to. Because if I don't do that for myself before I focus on other people, I can't deliver.
Mm. Yes.
There's nothing wrong with taking care of ourselves. I have zero shame about it. But am I perfect about it all the time? Absolutely not. So, yes, there are some mornings when, like, I know better. I know I should have gotten out of bed first, like, or earlier.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't have pushed snooze. And now that I didn't push snooze, I'm rushing. And now that I'm rushing, I didn't have time for that ritual. I didn't have time for my saging and my dance party. And now, oh my God, my client just pulled up and now I'm like unprepared. And yes, does that happen? Yes. And you power through. You know, you just
Push through it.
you push through it.
Do better tomorrow.
Yep, and you just say we're going to start again tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
or after they leave, I'm like, okay, making up for lost time here, you know, and
Yeah.
doing the thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, adding on to that, have you ever gone through anything like personal in your own personal life, like whether it's like grieving someone or you broke up with someone, any like big moments where you still, went to work and it was hard, like putting that stuff on the back bar?
Oh, hell yeah. All the time. Honestly, all the time. But like I'm at a point with my clients where like my clients want to hear that about me,
Oh,
you
I
know,
love
like we've
that.
been together for so long that like they know all the things.
Yeah.
But earlier in my career, did I have those moments where shit was happening with me that I knew I couldn't talk to about because it really isn't our client's burden?
Yeah.
Like, yes, absolutely. And I still have clients that I may draw that boundary with that I'm like, that person doesn't need to know this part of my life. But I do have clients who absolutely know everything about my life for
Yeah.
better or worse. That, um, but yes, I have definitely had those moments of grief and just hard times. And that's also what I really love about the place I'm in now with my career is
Mhm.
that I don't feel like I have to perform
Ugh,
anymore.
I love that. You're
Yeah.
just your authentic self
Yeah.
with your clients.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes I'm like, I'm having a really hard day, and they're like, oh, well, what happened? And I'll say, and we'll talk about it. And then I'm like, okay, but, like, let's talk about you, and really like bringing it back to them. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but it's nice to have clients that genuinely care and
Yeah.
express concern, and you can be honest with. Like, that's so nice. Oh, I
Yes.
love
It
that.
is so great.
Ugh, I've built up my clientele to where like I have a few clients like that,
Mhm.
but not at the point where I can like definitely can do that with everyone,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Can't always do it with everyone,
No,
you
because you
know.
have to be protective of
Yes.
what
Have to
information
be
you
protective of
share.
your own energy for
Yeah,
sure, because some
yeah,
people can't hold it.
yeah.
And I say that with everything, not just behind the chair. I say that with everything, with everybody, even in my breathwork circles, in my retreats. I'm like, hey, whatever you experienced here, you're welcome to talk about with whoever,
Mhm.
but make sure that person can hold it. You know, like that is some super protecting our energy shit that
Yeah,
no one really talks about because you want to be able to talk about everything because you love these people. But not everybody has that ability.
yeah, yeah,
And
for
that's okay.
sure. And I also think like trust is a big thing too
Mm,
whenever it comes to like
huge.
your clientele and like sharing certain aspects of your life. Like, for instance, I want to bring it back to how you like sent out that letter and you were like, I'm a witchy woo woo because I am too, but I can't share that with all of my clients because I definitely think some of them would not take it the right way. Like, it's a huge stigma around it because
Hmm.
people think you dabble in like devil worship.
Right.
And it's like, actually, I'm just a powerful fucking woman.
Exactly.
I'm just not falling for the patriarchy shit. That's what that means to
Exactly.
me.
Right. Yes. Yes. Like just because you're a witchy woman, whether that be in your personal life, behind the chair, or whatever endeavor you're doing, it, I mean, every badass woman I know is intuitive and, you know, um, knows her power, stands in her power, and um, grows herbs and, dances under the full moon. Like every
Yes.
badass woman I know does that.
Yeah, it's just standing within your own power. That's
Yeah.
what it really means to me.
Yeah.
That's and I wish people knew more about it. But I think obviously as time has gone on with like spirituality and like the expression of it cuz we all see tarot readings on
Hmm.
like TikTok, Instagram. I think it's definitely becoming a lot better as time has gone on,
Yeah.
but before it was a lot worse.
Yeah.
Like if you showed that stuff, people would be like, "Oh shit, no."
Yeah. I
Run for
wouldn't.
the hills.
Yeah. There's definitely a time where like I wouldn't have been able to show that part of myself.
Mhm.
But, when I went out on my own and I wasn't like with a salon anymore, and I was like, what do I want this to look like?
Yeah.
I want it to look like me because why else would I do this? If I don't have a salon to represent,
Yeah,
I'm just representing myself.
absolutely.
So,
When
yeah.
did you if you don't mind me asking, when did you become like did you grow up spiritual? Did you grow up
I actually grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 8 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. What was
Yeah.
that like?
Um, I had a really good Catholic school experience in
Oh,
the
hell
sense
yeah.
that it was small, everyone knew everyone. Um, it it was a mostly positive experience.
Mhm.
Obviously, like with my facial difference, I did run into some unfortunate situations because kids are assholes.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I think that that happens in any school. I wouldn't blame that on like a Catholic school setting by any means.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, I grew up Catholic. Um, but the interesting thing is it never really stuck with me. It's not that I thought it was bullshit.
Mhm.
I just thought that it felt confining
Mm.
to
Yeah.
just be this one thing. Um, when it felt so much bigger and expansive to me. And I think that there's room for all of it.
Mhm.
Um, of other beliefs, other cultures, other differences. And um, yeah, Catholic school was okay. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, and I don't know, you can cut this out. You don't have to like put
I
this in the
won't.
podcast, but like, um, it's really interesting when people ask me like, well, what led to your spirituality as you have it now? Like what led to your, you know, beliefs and your radicalization and your healing and your intuition, and you work with crystals and you work with all this stuff, like what led to that? And I said, Catholic school. Like it totally did. And I mean in the best way,
I
because
just
y'all,
love that you just say it like that.
Catholics, Catholics, I'm telling you right now, are the witchiest people.
Really? No
Yes.
way.
If you ever go to a Catholic mass, they're, they have this thing on a, like it's on a chain and it has
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
incense in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like spreading incense everywhere. Communion is the sacrifice of Jesus's blood and body.
Mhm.
I mean, that alone. Can we talk about that? Um but also that like the Jesus that I learned about in Catholic school was a radical, loving brown man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if that's the message they meant to give me, but that's the message that I took away.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just find it interesting that people are shocked, like that I grew up Catholic, but I think so much of my Catholicism for like my spirituality that I have now. I wouldn't call myself a Catholic. I don't say that I practice a religion necessarily,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that I am a very spiritual person and I carry that into my business. And I also think that's why a lot of my clients don't have a problem with it,
Mhm.
because it is rooted in this love for God. And I mean that in like the biggest way. Like obviously I respect anyone's belief system, because
100%.
God could be a million things. God could
Oh,
be the
yeah.
grass, God could be the trees, the air, could be
100%.
a woman. It could, like, I
That
mean,
part.
I'm just saying.
A woman.
So, yeah, I've always just felt like a super connection between like what we do as hairdressers and like that part. It's always been energetic and it's always been deeper than just hair for me.
Yeah.
And so I want to attract clients who seek that out as well.
100%.
Yeah.
With you growing up Catholic and everything, was that your parents' belief system as well? Were they Catholic?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they how did they take it whenever you were more spiritual and not necessarily Catholic?
It's so funny. I mean, I think that I'm the black sheep of the family.
Oh,
There's
girl, I love
definitely
that.
like there's no one else in the family who has like my woo-woo beliefs, that's for sure.
Same here. Yeah.
But I think that everyone obviously loves me and they respect it. I don't know if they necessarily, I don't want to say agree. I don't know if they understand it,
Yeah, that's
and
yeah.
that's okay. I don't seek to be understood. If they wanted to know more about it, I'm happy to share and talk about it, but
Yeah.
I'm also not going to force that on anyone who doesn't want to hear it, because really they probably just think I'm crazy and that's okay.
100%. I think whenever I told, my siblings about it, I got like a mix of reactions. My brother closest in age, he was like, I mean, I don't, all right, I don't care. Whatever.
Right.
What does that mean? You watch like Bewitched or something?
Right. But also coming from an Aveda background, Aveda is very rooted in a
Yes.
lot of those beliefs.
Yes, they are.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, Aveda also, for the time that I was with Aveda, really supported that. And
Very spiritual for
yes,
sure, with like
yes.
energy and I forget
I
that
mean,
saying, like what we give to the world is shit, I forget. But
well, I mean, Aveda itself, like, coming from an Ayurvedic background, like, and just learning about the chakras so early on in my career.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, um, I think that that definitely helped develop my
Oh, for sure.
witchiness
For
behind the
sure.
chair,
Yeah.
because it always felt in alignment with that.
When did you go to Aveda?
I didn't go to an Aveda school,
Okay, gotcha.
but I worked with Aveda my entire career up
Wow.
until I went to like out on my own in 2022. So, God, I was with Aveda from 2007, 2008, all the
Mhm.
way up till like 2022.
Wow.
Yeah,
Long time.
a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
So, what made you transition from being with a company so long to going out on your own?
It was kind of against my will. I never really wanted to work for myself. I
Mhm.
always envisioned myself working in a salon with a team, whether that be a salaried position or a commission position.
Mhm.
Never really wanted to work for myself. COVID happened, things changed. And I want to be careful with the way I say this because you know, in case anybody I care about is listening, but um my salon owner, couldn't he just couldn't,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was just a really hard time. And so it just got to the point where I was like, hey, this isn't a 2 weeks notice, but this is a notice. Like, I have to go.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'll stay on as long as you need. Do whatever you need me to do. I'll train whoever, like whatever you need from me. I'll do
Yeah.
that. And he decided to close the salon
Oh,
instead. And so we had 6 weeks between him deciding to
oof.
close the salon to finding another gig. And I'm a mom. And so for me, I was just like, oh, okay, everything's happening so, so fast. And okay, maybe this is a restart. If I could start everything over, what do I want this to look like? Well, I love Aveda, but I'm in Arlington and um there were only like two Aveda salons left in Arlington and neither of
Yeah.
them had a lot of space left for another stylist.
Okay.
So I was like, um okay, maybe not them. And one of them I had actually already worked for. So I was like, okay, so definitely not that place. So that really only leaves the
Not
one
going
place.
back.
Um, I didn't want to come to Dallas. I didn't want to go to Fort Worth because I have this little girl who needs me.
Mhm.
And so I was just like, okay, maybe it's time to work for myself? Question mark. Is that what I
Is that
want
what I'm
to
doing?
do? Is that what I want to do? So that's when I made the decision to open a salon in my house. I
Wow.
yeah, that I transitioned my master bedroom into a salon and I moved into a guest bedroom and so I work from home. And with all that being said, it was a really hard time. It was a really
I'm sure.
difficult time because I was forced into this transition that I wasn't really ready for, nor
Mm.
did I think that I ever really wanted.
Yeah.
But a super proud moment for me is that salon that I worked for, I was there since the day we opened to the day we closed for 11 years. And I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into that place. I was always there early. I always stayed late. I was an educator. I was a leader. I grew a lot in those 11 years. Um, and from the moment I told that team that we would be closing and that we all had 6 weeks to figure it out,
Oof.
because our salon owner didn't have that conversation.
Oh my God,
I did.
you did? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Got goosebumps.
So I was the one who had to tell them that things were ending, that they all had to get another job, that I felt responsible
Oh.
because I was leaving. And rather than keeping things open, we were closing. And I'm so, so, so proud to say that despite it all, and there was a lot going on, it was a hard time. Every single one of them stayed. None of them were like, "Oh, I found another gig, I'm out." And I wouldn't have blamed them if they did.
Yeah, because they were gonna go
Yes.
eventually, you know?
Right. I
Yeah.
actually would have supported it. I was
Yeah.
shocked that like no one said, "Oh, well then I'm just going to go rent a suite and get started there." Everyone stayed till the very last day,
Oh,
and we all
yeah.
handed in our keys and we all helped take the place, like I say tear the place down, like get things I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it the way it sounds, but
But you finished all together.
we
You
finished
closed a
it
chapter
together.
together. Yeah.
We finished it together and it was really special and it was really sweet. And even though I don't regret going out on my own and I love having autonomy over my business and my time and that I get to be there for my kid in a way that I wasn't before and all these things, like it's all turned out for the best. I do think about that team at the very end
Oh, I'm sure.
and that how much I miss that camaraderie, especially when it comes to salon laundry. I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to do all this laundry by myself."
It's a whole other
Um,
monster.
no, but I mean, for real, they really were the best, and we're all still friends, and we all still hang
Oh.
out, and they've even come on my retreats that I host,
Oh,
and, so
I love
they're
that.
such a wonderful group of girls, and I super love them so much. It was a really special time.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Whenever, everybody was closing that chapter together, did they all find spots pretty
Mhm.
quickly? Are they
Yeah.
all like doing really well now?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They all went off and found their new homes, and some of them have switched salon homes since then. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to figure out where you're supposed to be or how you want to approach that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, they've all landed.
I love
So
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to see. It's just wild because you guys were together for 11 years. Like,
Hmm.
11 years is such a long time to be around the same people every day. Um, I'm in a salon and I can't even, I don't know, some of the girls there, they've had to go to other locations because their spouse got like a job promotion,
Yeah.
or they're moving into a house really far away and they can't commute to the salon anymore. And just like those instances alone are just like they really hit
Hmm.
me emotionally because you just get so attached to
Yes.
your coworkers, especially when shit's going down and a
Yes.
toner isn't turning out the way you wanted it to.
Right.
You're just like freaking out with your coworker and they're like just helping you carry the
Right. The
burden.
solidarity.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it's so great.
Yeah. Do you
It
ever
really is.
miss being in a salon environment?
Not enough to go back to one,
I understand that. I
but
think I would love to be.
yes. I mean, sometimes I do. Especially like with education alone, like now being on my own, I'm like, God, I need to find a class. And that used to be provided for me. So seeking out education is harder. Having the burden of, you know, cleaning everything, sanitizing and capes and towels and, all the things like it's a lot harder all on your own. And I really enjoy it. But do I miss it sometimes? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, just being in like the energy of it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but like now that you do it out of your house, you have more time with your daughter.
Hmm.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. How has that been for you? Like as a mom, as a parent?
Oh my God. It's been life changing because I can like do my schedule to where I can pick her up from school and take her to dance class. And like before, I had to rely on my parents,
Yeah.
and they're obviously like awesome and willing to help in any way they can. But sometimes things happen. Like, one of our family members got really, really sick and needed help. And so that's when I was like, kind of, well, no, I was out on my own then, but I was working a lot more hours. And, my parents would be like, okay, yeah, we'll help, but also there's a doctor's appointment for this and things just got like really complicated. And so that's when I was like, what am I doing? I work for myself. I get to say when I worked. So that was just,
Hell yeah.
another email to the clients. Hey, things have kind of changed around here. I need to be more available. So now my hours are XYZ. And don't get me wrong, there are some commission salons that are so flexible and are great.
Yeah.
I was not in that environment.
Mhm.
And so I don't at all mean to take away from the fact that there are some amazing bosses out there that would probably be so flexible and supportive. But for this point in my life, raising a daughter and just feeling like I need to be home, like it has really benefited me and helped me.
I'm so happy to hear
Yeah.
that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people who are maybe thinking about going out on their own, but are too scared to really make the attempt as a stylist?
Well, I would say, like, one, you would have to be ready for all the reasons that I just said, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
friendships and the camaraderie, like there's nothing else like it in a salon. Like hairstylists are such a special breed. And um I I don't know where I would be without like all these years of all these special hairstylists that I've met in and out of my life, like working in salons. So like you have to make sure that you're ready to like truly be on your own because it can be lonely and isolating.
Yeah.
Um, you have to have a plan financially. If anyone needs to talk to me, reach out because ask me how I know. I have figured it out. Um, and yeah, and I would say that you are so capable. We are so much more capable than we give ourselves credit for.
Mhm.
And for the longest time, I didn't want to work for myself because I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think that I was disciplined enough. I didn't think that I was enough of anything to be able to successfully do it on my own. I always thought that I needed the support of a salon owner to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's not true. It's just not true. So, you know, I mean, it has to obviously work with your lifestyle. But I mean, what really helps me that is different from people who lease a suite or whatever is that I don't have that kind of overhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I say if you own your house, it's a really sweet gig to work from home, is all I'm saying. And if you want to talk about that, you can reach out to me. But yes, having a home salon is really, really fun.
Oh, I love that. Hell yeah. Well, I just congratulations
Oh, thank
on,
you.
your success with it. I'm sure I will have a lot of people reach out to you because I know some stylists who are actually, they just got out of school and they already want to be on their own.
Mm.
But whenever you first do that, it can be really intimidating,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, and there's different schools of thought on that. I follow some hairstylists on Instagram and Facebook who really encourage people to go out on their own right away
Mhm.
cuz they're like, "Yeah, you can do this. You're capable," which is obviously what I just said. And I'm a big fan of an apprenticeship. I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of really like keeping your head down and learning from the best of the best in your area. Like my advice for anyone getting out of school would be to do that, to
Mhm.
go into a salon, do the apprenticeship. They're not always fun. Sometimes they suck. And maybe that's an old school thought because I come from the millennial generation of hairstylists, but it really, really benefited me to have that base. I don't feel that I was nearly educated enough to do that right out of school to go out on my own.
Yeah.
But some people are, I mean,
Some people have it.
some people have it.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
Wish I
not
was
that
you.
girl. Yeah, I was not that girl. That's for sure. Yeah.
So tell me about because you have a women's group that you
Mhm.
are the co-founder of
Yes.
alongside your partner.
Yes.
How did you guys come up with that? Like how did that come to be?
Okay. So, my bestie in business, Laurie Wallace, she was um the manager at the salon that I worked at.
Okay.
And COVID hit. And we didn't work for 10 weeks. And Laurie and I really, really leaned on each other. And when she was having a bad day, I was having a good day. And when I was having a bad day, she was having a good day. And we just kind of looked at each other one day and we were like, God, how lucky are we to be able to have this
Support?
support?
Yeah.
Um, and that's when we met Eva Nelson, who is an intuitive healer. And I don't know, always being like the witchy girls we have been, we were like, sure, let's just, girl, you throw a tarot reading at me, you throw a palm reading, you throw anything at me. I'm like, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
So we met an intuitive healer, or we got connected with an intuitive healer um, named Eva, and she really cracked me open.
Mm.
She really, really cracked me open in a way that, like, my Capricorn brain just never knew was available to me.
Mhm.
And that's when I really started viewing myself like as a medicine woman. Like, I have some powerful medicine to share with the world. And Laurie had kind of the same experience. And so we kind of like started this healing journey together. And we were like, we just felt like we needed to talk about it. So we were like, what do we do? Oh my God. So that's when we started the podcast. So it was the Badass Ladies Club podcast.
Hmm.
We did that for a couple years. Um, and I don't know if this is your experience, but having a podcast, well, the way we were doing it was expensive.
Mhm.
And we were just kind of like, how can we monetize this? Like, how can we do this and like make money? And so that's when we kind of came up with this idea of retreats. Like, we could take women on retreats and like talk about the stuff we're talking about on the podcast, but like in the retreats
I
and
love
doing all
that.
that.
Yeah.
And so, um, 2022, just a few weeks after we closed that salon and I opened my home salon, we went to Costa Rica and hosted our first women's retreat. Well, we had a practice one in Oklahoma, like a small one that we were like, well, let's try one here before we do Costa Rica. So we had like kind of a dry run
Yeah.
before we did Costa Rica. Um, and so, yeah, that's kind of how that all started. It was born from COVID and a healing journey and a podcast. And so that's when we started Badass Ladies Club. We have since rebranded to the Badass Soul Collective because we wanted to make it more inclusive.
Mhm.
Because when we host like breathwork journeys and stuff, sometimes men were like, oh, but if it's the Badass Ladies Club, I don't want to, and like for that, we're like, no, 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 you
You
can come, that's
can
okay.
come.
But I mean, sometimes you're not invited because we're talking about other things. But for this, you can come, And so
Yeah.
we wanted people of any gender to be able to feel like they were included. So, yeah, so we rebranded to the Badass Soul Collective and we just did our fourth Costa Rican retreat. We've
Wow.
hosted a lot in DFW.
Mhm.
And yeah, we're planning one for the Hill Country this fall.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really, really fun.
Exciting. I
It's
love
some good stuff.
that. What do you
Yeah.
guys do while you're on the retreat?
Well, it depends on the theme.
Okay.
So the first three that we hosted were strictly healing retreats. So we were doing like breath work and meditation, and we were getting deep and, all that kind of stuff. This last one that we just hosted was for women in business and leadership. And so we thought it was a business retreat. And actually, it was a healing retreat because turns out that female entrepreneurs and leaders,
They really need it.
they really need it. And so we were like, oh, turns out this is what we're doing.
I need to send my sister on one of those.
But we did every day. We had business masterminds where like we were digging deep into like what it's like to be an entrepreneur or a leader and to be visible and to have your leadership be feminine and soft. And like I feel like leadership is so masculine because
Yes,
it's
it is. Yeah.
you know, strong and provider
Yeah, and it
and,
was the standard for the longest time, like,
right. And
women weren't
so
in
like
business.
this last Costa Rican retreat with the lady entrepreneurs, like it was really about like what would business look like if it were feminine and soft, and that we led with like our female power instead of this patriarchal
Yeah, like, I
masculine
have to be
way that
hard
we've
on
been taught.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think being soft and feminine in your approach and nurturing is the best kind of leadership because you're setting an example that you don't have to be hard all the time. Granted, you do need, like, a balance of the 2,
Yes.
but I've always loved when people are just sweet
Yeah.
by leading other people and they're patient.
Yeah. And Laurie and I, we really have lived both sides. I don't want to speak for her because she's not here to speak for herself. So I'll just speak for myself. When we were in the salon, I was really hard. I was really um, masculine in my approach to everybody and everything. And I was a hard ass, and everyone called me a robot. Like when they would walk by me, like the other hairstylist would be like, beep, boop, Jessica with her perfect foils, and Jessica's so robotic and everything she does. And
Mm-hmm.
I never cried. I was kind of a hard ass. I was hard on them. Um, and then when COVID happened and I started my healing journey and I cracked open, I was like, oh, it just felt like such a release because I was like, I don't even know who that person is. I was pretending to be this person who would like climb over everyone's dead body to get to the top. Why? What
Mm.
for? What am I doing? When like I actually love watching people shine bright.
Yeah.
I love watching people do what sets their soul on fire. And that doesn't dim me. So why am I so competitive? Why was I out to be the best? And um I really think it was because of the masculine leadership that I was under
Yeah.
that I felt like I had to beat all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so for the women who I worked with in the salons, I mean some of them especially towards the end, like I told you, we're all still friends, and like so those girls know me as like a soft feminine person.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think about some of the women who I worked with before who didn't get to meet this version of me, who probably think back and they're like, God, Jessica was a bitch, or like whatever it is. Um, that I hope one day that maybe our paths will cross again and that like they'll get to meet this softer. I never believe that we're all fully healed, right? But this softer, more healed version of me that has really grown. Um, I hope for that. And I hope that if any of those women feel that I was too hard or caused them any sort of heartache with how careless I was sometimes,
Yeah.
that, I mean, I hope that, you know, that they've forgiven that and, you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
But feminine leadership and keeping it soft is, I do think, like the most beautiful approach. It's changed my life and my business, and it just feels so much more aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can, if because there's a lot of, women out there who still take that very masculine and hard approach. How can they transition to being more soft and feminine in like the way that they lead other people?
I think that I like to think of healing as a remembering. It's not becoming this new person. It's remembering like who we are almost on like a cellular ancestral level. And that, I mean, when I think back to female leadership before you and I were even thought of, like women were revered and women were, um, you know, worshipped and put on a pedestal, and that they didn't um, have that hardness or that masculinity. They were all really soft. And that when we look at like matriarchal cultures, like it was about community and
Mhm.
um, support, and it wasn't about power and money, like it is with the patriarchy.
Mhm.
Um, so when when I see a woman leading from a masculine, let's say patriarchal place, and by no fault of their own, because this is what we're conditioned
Oh,
to do and be, right?
100%.
Um, I would encourage them to remember who you truly are. Like, is this who you really are? Is this who you really are? Because as women, like, we were designed to like receive and to nurture. And um, I don't, I no longer believe that like I have to work hard and I have to like, do I work hard? Yeah, I work hard, but I no longer work hard to get this like payback of like money or power or anything like
Yeah.
that. That working hard for me now is working in alignment and
Mm.
working in a way that supports my life, and that I am richer and like just have more available to me now than I ever have working under masculine leadership
100%.
ever.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back to what you just said because that is, I love that. But what does it mean to work in alignment?
Ooh, to work in alignment. Um, for me, working in alignment feels easy. It flows. It's when you check in with yourself and you're like, does this reflect who I am? Does this reflect my goals? Is this me?
Mm.
And if it's not me, it's out of alignment. You know, it's Oh God, I wish I had a better answer. I'm not so great with like on the spot words,
No, but
but
it makes sense though.
I
I understand
mean,
what you're saying.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like working in alignment, it's flow.
Yeah.
It's not feeling like you're having to break these barriers. It's just like anything that's meant for me comes to me. I don't chase, I attract. Anything that is meant for me is going to come to me. And as long as my energy is clean and pure and in alignment with those goals, like it's going to happen, because we don't get what we want, we get what we are.
Mm. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
So you got to make sure you're in alignment, because yeah, the universe is going to be like, I'm not going to give you what you want,
Yeah, because you're not ready.
but I will give you what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not ready, you're not getting it. So yeah.
Oh. And that honestly just that reminds me of like how important gratitude is.
Oh God, yeah.
I feel like as I progressed in my spiritual journey and how it's been over the years, I think the greatest thing that I've learned is that just being grateful for what you have is key to just having everything that you've ever wanted.
Amen. Yes.
Just appreciating what you currently have. Like, I try to practice gratitude at least, like at night before I go to bed, because it puts me in this state where I'm just completely calm. And then next day I'll just have like such a great fucking day.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Have you ever read The Magic?
No, I have not.
Okay. Highly recommend. The Magic is a book of a 28-day gratitude practice.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
amazing. And so like it's different practices for the whole 28 days, but the one practice that you do every day through the 28 days is in the morning you list 10 things you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. And girl, I tell you, that is harder than it sounds, especially for 28 days and you're trying not to repeat things.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about everything that has to happen to make your life happen. Okay, so it's easy in the beginning, right? Because, like, in the beginning, you're like, I'm grateful for the air I breathe because otherwise I
I'd be
wouldn't
dead.
be living, like that's easy. But when you get into the practice and you're getting close to the end of that 28 days and you're just thinking of shit to come up with that you're grateful for. I mean, whenever I do that, I'm to the point where, like, toward the end, I'm like, I am grateful for this banana because the journey it took to get from the tree to the truck. I'm grateful for the truck drivers that brought the banana from the farm to the grocery store so that I could eat it. I'm grateful for the grocery store worker who had to, you know what I mean? Like, but really, it just shows that, like, we're so into instant gratification because I just go to the store and buy bananas, but I don't
Yep.
think about what it took for the banana to get there.
Yeah.
And that it was like this whole literal ecosystem to make sure that the banana got to where it was. And so, like,
Yeah.
practicing gratitude on that level is like, it is deep. So, The Magic by, I'm going to butcher this. I want to say her name is Rhonda Byrne, but it's kind of like The Secret, like the law of attraction thing.
Mm.
But um one of, like, the practices that has really stuck with me is that every morning you get up, like, you get up out of bed and you put one foot on the ground, say thank you. Put another foot on the ground, say thank you. And, like, as I walk through the house in the morning, like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, I'm just telling myself all the time, thank you, 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 constantly, because I've done that book probably 3 times now.
Wow.
And so gratitude is so ingrained in everything that I do. So anyone who's looking for a gratitude journey, The Magic will kick your ass in the best way possible. It's so good.
I
Highly
love
recommend.
that. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. My last question for you is what advice would you give to your younger self? Something that you know now that you didn't know before.
Oh, I feel like I would have so much to say to her, and I trust that she can figure it out. Like, because that is part of little Jessica's problem, is that she was such a people pleaser and was always looking for validation and for someone to tell her what to do or how to feel. And so I would encourage little Jessica that she knows and that she can figure it out. She's got it.
She's got
She's got it.
it.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I
Thank
had such a great
you.
time talking to
Oh,
you. Oh
thank
my
you. I
God, you're
did
just full
too.
of wisdom.
Oh, God. Don't
um,
listen to everything I say. I don't know if I'm that
Listen
good,
to
but
everything.
like, I don't know.
So something I like to do to close these off is I like to give a good old hug. Is that
Yeah,
okay with you?
yes,
Oh,
of
perfect. We're
course.
just
Can I
pushing
move
you down.
this?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course you can. Oh, such a
Oh,
pleasure.
it was a pleasure meeting you.